All right, welcome to another episode of Beyond the Gates, and we're still here at the Cranbourne Harness Training Centre. Wonderful facility here. You haven't been here that long, have you, Simone? Probably nearing 12 months?
Yeah, just a little bit over 12 months I've been here.
So tell us about the atmosphere here, really. We spoke earlier, a couple of weeks back, to Mick Hughes about just the camaraderie, and it's a different kind of atmosphere. You're normally isolated on your own farm or your own property doing things. What are the benefits of training out of a harness training centre like this?
There's a lot of benefits actually. We've got a lot of better facilities than just being on your own property. You don't have to worry about maintenance, it's all done for you, which having come off a farm, you really notice a big difference with that. You've got more horses to work with, and it's a lot more relaxed, I think, because you've got hobby trainers as well as professional trainers here, so you actually have a lot of fun at work as well.
So do you find yourself, bouncing ideas off your Mick Hughes and the other very senior trainers here, but also being a bit of mentor and helping out with some of the hobby trainers that have got one or two horses around the place?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I speak to Mick a fair bit about different horses, and he bounces things off me too. And even some of the hobby trainers that come up and ask you questions, when I ask you a question, you go, oh, actually, yeah, I remember I used to do that, and then you apply that to your own horse and off you go. Let's
put it in reverse and go back to the start for you and your heritage in the game. You're a bit like me. We probably feel older than we actually are in years. We've been around the game for quite a period of time, so you've had a lot of success as a driver, and now you're doing a lot of training and you're mixing both. Take us back to the start.
To start off with, Dad used to just train part-time as a hobby, and I helped him, and I just sort of did a bit of track work with him, and then ended up getting my licence to drive in the trials. Never thought anything much of it, and then I just started racing, and it's just progressed from there.
And talk about, I guess, some of the nice horses that you were involved with early doors. You drove a number of, relatively big winners, and also your dad, Bill, had some very nice horses as well. Yeah,
we've been really lucky. We've always had a decent horse in our stable. We've had, like, Lombo Skyrider. He was good. We've had Stone at Midnight. She was a very good mare, but she ended up breaking down and has bred on, so she's been a really good asset to the stable. Obviously, Hector JJ was one of the best. I got to drive a Group 1 for Huey Cathell's Gemfire, so she was good. And who else was it? I won the Redwood on David Scott's horses, Elusive Charm. So yeah, I've been lucky. I've been associated with some pretty nice horses.
You'll be able to see, I think Mick picked up an Elusive Charm at the Australian Premier Trotting Sale, so it's a very insular sort of business around this part of the world, isn't it? There's not the same horse population that there used to be, but that's why we have the training centre here, I suppose, to keep that alive. Yeah,
that's right. Like, we always had Noel Alexander, and he's still got a fairly big stable, and Ted Demler, but he's retired now, so that's made a big difference to the numbers down here. But that's why it's good to have a facility like this, because we get a lot of hobby trainers in, and they can start off, and if they want to grow, that's well and good if they want to do that.
All right, let's get stuck into your training philosophy. So obviously, I'm guessing Dad Bill would have influenced them significantly, but how much have you taken from there that you continue on with today? How much have you changed? How much have you tinkered? And over the last 12 months, has having the facilities at this training centre changed how you do things at all?
Yeah, it has. I still revert back to a lot of what Dad used to do, and I'll go home and ear bash him about different horses and get ideas off him. But generally, I do the same thing, building him up to the races, but now I can incorporate like the treadmill and the swimming pool and stuff like that. And I guess I kind of cross-train a fair bit. I don't just do the same thing every day.
Okay.
And try and keep them as happy and healthy as I can.
Do you do a lot of competitive work with the horses, or is it more solo stuff, or you mix the two?
Different horses take different sort of training methods, but I mean, they're competitive by nature, but sometimes if they get beaten a couple of times, they're sort of a bit like a human, they get a little bit down on themselves, so we try and give them a bit of a boost and give them a kill on the track and try and boost them up again that way.
What about this bloke? What's he like, Magic Impact? He's only a little fella, but he's nice and docile. I've been lucky enough out at the training centre to stand next to two very docile horses, but what do you do with him, for instance? What's a week like for him?
Well, he's just had his first start back last week, and he went good. He got beaten by a head, I think it was. He came to me with a few tricks, so we had to try and sort him out, and he's still got his tricks, so he's not the best track worker, so you just got to try and put that out of your mind and hope he goes better race day. But he's got his tricks, and he's not a very easy horse to drive, but yeah, he goes okay.
And what does the future look like for Simone Walker? We won't go 20 years in the future, we'll just go 5 or so. So you've only been here for the 12 months. For a start, do you see yourself being here in the long term for the next 5 years or so? And what are you really after? Are you looking for a team that can be constantly competitive at the races, or are you just desperate to find, I guess, another Hector JJ, an absolute top liner?
Well, everybody wants a top liner,
Yeah.
so we'll just keep trying to find one. In the meantime, we just want, the best horses you can have. I'll probably stay here for, I don't know, as long as I can, and I'll start to look into, I've applied for my thoroughbred licence, so I might sort of incorporate the two.
I think one thing people don't know too is that pretty much everyone who deals with harness horses with standard breds, you're horse people overall, aren't you? You're not a harness racing trainer or a driver.
Yep.
You can easily transfer those skills.
Absolutely. Like there's a lot of people, they train horses, standard breds, but they'll, be show people or quarter horse people, or, things like that. So, we usually, got a bit of a crossover to another sport in the horse racing.
Looking forward then, is there any one or two that you think can maybe not progress to be megastars in the stable, but you think we can follow as punters and fans of the sport?
We've got a nice horse, Reclusive. He's raced, he's a little bit naughty too, but he's got the ability, so he'll probably start back this week. He's one to follow if he can keep him sound and behave himself. And got another one that we had here on rehab, and he's only had one start for one win, and hopefully if we can keep him sound, he'll be a pretty good horse. That's Rorke's Drift.
Oh, I got Rorke's Drift, the big boy. That's pretty exciting. And Reclusive, I remember I got a message, I think, from your partner Andrew suggesting there could be a very good horse. So it's just his behavioural issues that have held him back a little bit in terms of the end of last preparation.
A little bit excited.
And Rorke's Drift is okay because I think he's just a few little structural issues, but he's in rehab now.
Yeah, he had stem cell therapy done on his leg, and he's up to doing pace work now. So hopefully not too far away from the races. All
right. Well, thanks very much for joining us on Beyond the Gates. There's Simone Walker, our second guest here over the last couple of weeks at this magnificent training centre out here at Cranbourne.
Mickey is heading down to the line. Always be Mickey in